Hello, everyone. Why do I have an accent? Greetings, Earthlings. Today, we're gonna be setting up dance game streams. What does that mean? Well, we're gonna show you the behind the scenes of how we get this baby working on the purple site where we stream live, because guess what? We're streaming dance games. Hopefully this helps some other dance gamers or people who have arcade cabinets in their house like we do and don't know what to do to stream it. Today, we have this man over here getting out all the gear. Oh, you look at all our gear. Yeah. And for those that don't know why that's overkill, this is a red. So, to give you context, this isn't my normal streaming setup. But look, we now have a streaming PC that we built. You can see the video of us building it somewhere in the depths of my YouTube. Normally, in my stream, I use a Sony A7 Mark I. That's what I use for my normal stream setup. And love the quality. Mirrorless, perfect for streaming. You don't need to go crazy either. Spent $500 on that thing. I finally did cable management in my office, which, let's go see it. This, my Sony. I ain't taking this shit. It's not perfect, but it's better than what it was, because I used to have cables just like. But here we have this beautiful, beautiful, with my 16 to 35. You have to plug it into a wall. That's the first step. It needs its own power. The second thing, you need a capture card. You need to connect the camera to your PC somehow. And the best way to do it is with a capture card. Before anyone's like, why is that overkill? Why do you have so much overkill? This PC in the garage is also going to be used for live productions for our company. We need multiple inputs for multicam live shows. But you don't need it for dance games unless you want to get cray-cray. You're gonna shock me. Look at this. Look at this builder. So these are all the inputs for our specific capture card that we're using.
And 99% of you would not use that input. That is an industry standard SDI.
That is for SDI.
You guys would probably use...
Hold on. Wait, where's our little
Here,
baby? This is what an external capture card looks like. We used the cable to hook to the dongle. This is connected to the PC inside this bad boy, because there is a PC back here. But I'm not gonna pull it out because that's a pain in the ass. Back in the office, so I can show you guys. Internal capture card. So here's your normal inputs for my monitors. But then down here, I have a capture card installed. So I put the HDMI cable in. I actually have 2 ports for that. SDI. Crazy cables. Input into PC. For those of you that stream, you have a program of choice, whether it's OBS, Streamlabs, etc. I use OBS because I've always used OBS and I like it and it's easy for me. Y'all don't have to use it. Okay? Okay. So we're gonna switch to my ITG scene, which obviously there's nothing here because we don't have anything fixed up. So I already have my sources that I use, so like my alerts, the mixer. Select the correct input. Voila, we have video. Now, personally, I find it's helpful to do your own custom resolution and FPS so you have control over it. We're only doing 1080p with 60 FPS. If you're a Twitch affiliate, you're only gonna have an output of 720 anyway. So it's not gonna matter. But I always do whatever I can. Next step. Let's turn this bad boy on because we've got a chart monitor. What's this for, you ask? I'm standing right here and I'm playing. I want to be able to talk to my chat. Ah! Watch out for chat monitor.
Indy 500's on.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. I turned on the Indy 500. So... oh, see, you hit it too. So prior to this video, this monitor over here is connected to the PC already in the graphics card. So what we're doing, since we're using a monitor for our chat, we are setting up a vertical extend of the desktop. So what does that mean? It's not going to show my primary desktop right here. It's going to show an extension, which means when I'm in OBS and I'm like, yeah, let's show chat. There's my chat. This comes out and then I drag it and voila. We are going to extend it all the way to about 3/4 of the screen. And I'll tell you why later. So you can see that over there. We're gonna get close to it. It's still very small text, but you do need this little space right here, because if you're like me, you also want to be able to see your alerts, because you're not going to hear them while you're playing. So most of you who are computer literate know, clicking over there, Control plus sign gets you larger text. So now you can read it. For Twitch, when you're in OBS, there is an option to show your activity. For some reason, mine's not showing up. But the other option is you could also use Streamlabs. I'm just going to use stats as an option. Let's just pretend the stats are my activity. So drag that over there. It's going to go on the bottom. So you're bam, bam, thank you, ma'am, able to see, wow, someone subscribed, yada, yada. Let's take a look at the input for this in the PC. You can see it. Here's an external capture card that we got for under $100. Cheap. It's USB. Plugs in. The back has an HDMI input. That cable that I just showed you is wired along, and it goes straight to the back into the PC in the graphics card in the PC that is this. So now we're back on the PC. I already have an input for the dance game. I named it ITG1. So let's double check these properties. It is currently, it's in the USB 2.0. Should we move it to 3.0?
It's not 3.0.
Oh. Anyway, there we are. We have the USB 2.0 connected. Now, this little box right here, where you see my head shining through, is going to be our handy dandy face cam. That camera over there. The overkill camera. Normally, I have a webcam mounted on top of the chat monitor, but we're going overkill here today. So I had named that 4K. So it is obviously not my Logitech Brio. So we're gonna find the actual input that it is. Cool. Not really much to mess with, but as you can see, it just covered my whole screen. So we're gonna shrink it. We're gonna shrink it to fit inside my little border right here. Typically, you don't have to do all of this. And for my preference in terms of streaming dance games, I prefer to have a face cam, full machine preview, and gameplay. Now, that's just what works for me. Some people do their feet instead of a face cam. Some people don't do the backside with the machine. I do it for the wow factor, because especially since I stream to an audience that is not necessarily always going to be dance gamers, I like to show it off what I'm playing on so that people who are not familiar with the game can see what is going on, you know. While Dimitri is mounting this camera, I want to discuss a little bit about audio. So as I mentioned, in OBS, you're gonna have audio for each of your cameras. Disable the ones that are your cameras. Only have the audio for the game sound, which we will get into more, and your microphone, which we are also gonna set up. We use a mixer. You don't need to use a mixer. I use a mixer because this guy over here happens to have a mixer, thankfully. But you don't need to use a mixer. And I know that it makes it a lot less frustrating when you're trying to balance the sound and the microphone when you have a mixer. But if you don't, you can absolutely adjust it in OBS. You're testing the face cam. Yeah. Yeah. Look at that C200 Canon, baby. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Audio input, game sound. You don't want to use a microphone to capture the game sound. We have the AUX cable going in here, routed all the way to the back of the machine. But because we want the sound still coming out of the machine, we use a splitter. So the sound, which is input into the PC in the back of the machine, is split. Okay. So this is our test screen. Sound. So currently, we are adjusting the sound. Right now, the mixer is also not showing up on here for sound.
Okay, so you're gonna have to...
So we need to make sure this is getting sound. Because right now, we have an input for the mixer, which is right here. And this is just a normal, this is like having a mic. It's a regular input. So you can see this is where our volume is at. In order to listen to the audio that is coming in through headphones, you can actually choose you have to choose your audio input and choose how you want it to come out. So right now we have it to monitor and output. So that allows us to hear it through headphones to hear how balanced it is. That's one way you can do it. The other option, which is a little bit more tedious and annoying, but this is how I used to do it, is recording something for about like 10 seconds. This would be great if you are doing this by yourself and have no one to actually listen to you when you have your mic set up, which is what I've had to do in the past. So recording yourself allows you to listen to the playback and see how it's balanced, and then you can tweak it, record again, tweak it, etc. For the microphone, this is just like doing an input for the gameplay. Difference is it's a mic. It's just like you would do if you were setting up a regular mic for your stream. You would add an audio input capture. It is different for us.
We're mixing everything pre-OBS.
Because we are using a mixer, everything is controlled through the mixer. So I do not actually have to add another input, but if you are using a microphone and you do not have a mixer, you will have to do a separate input. So when you do the separate input, you're able to adjust it directly in OBS like you normally would. As you can see, it is a bit fancier. In the past, I've used a Shure mic. Also fancy, very nice. But if you can afford it and you really want to stream dance games or arcade machines, highly recommend putting the extra money into a nicer mic.
Here, let's test it.
And we got to test it, but I wasn't done. Even though you'll probably cut this part of me talking out, thank God. It's time to test the mic. So we're gonna skedaddle over here to the microphone. Now, we mounted it. We have this lovely set here. Looks like a little living room in here. Not everyone's gonna have that, but either you can have it way up here or in front of you. If you have a mic stand, put it right in front of you, about right here. You can talk into it, close to your mouth. That also works. But as you see, this thing's above me. It's not gonna hit me in the head, hopefully, but we are testing it. So as I'm talking, he's listening to it on there, we're good. It helps to have someone help you. It does. But if you have to do it alone, you can use one of the options that I mentioned, like recording. Or if your headphones happen to stretch across from where your streaming PC is, by all means, use it. I just remembered something. If you're using a studio mic, like a Shure or a Rode, it has an XLR input. And just like if you're streaming, like I said, a lot of people have mixers that they can put that right into. If you don't, you need something to be able to plug it in. My stream setup uses a Focusrite, so I can plug in my XLR. If you're using another type of mic that uses USB, you don't have to worry about that. All right, the next thing we're gonna talk about is lighting. Now, it's pretty dark in here, right? So as you can see, it's pretty dark. It looks kind of light in this video, but it's dark. Even the face cam, it's dark. You're not gonna be able to see my face that well, right? So, because we happen to have a camera mounted, we have something called the Larry Chen light by Type S, mounted directly on the camera. Obviously, this is something that is unique to our setup. But I highly recommend, if you do have a face cam, you need lighting to light your face. Now, because my setup shows the full thing behind me, that means I also need a light up here. Obviously, we are able to mount a light. Not everyone's going to be able to do that. But having some source of light, whether it's a ring light on your face or like a key light, whatever, just something to provide a light source to give you a better image, better output for your stream is going to also give your viewers a better experience so that they can see you. Make it fun. Make it happy. Make it cool. Look, we have an RGB light too. We add that for an extra pizzazz. Oh, that's blue. I don't want to be, I'm blue. If I was green, I would die. Oh, just kidding. We have RGB light. The taco hat, we just have this RGB going. But this also does RGB. This Larry Chen light up here. It does RGB. And guess what? You can also get it for 15% off. And I'll tell you how at the end of this video. It's also on sale right now. Normally don't promote things, but I figured it'd be something to share because it's a good deal. We use this light for everything. It's tiny but mighty. I mean, this is our preference. This is what we like to have for our stream, for my stream. And it does not have to be this crazy, but in terms of the basics of making sure you've got game input, sound, mic, if you're going to be talking. That's the other thing too. You don't have to talk. But I like to talk to my chat when I'm playing. I like to see my chat. I like to see if people sub, follow, because I like to recognize those things. That's why we put it up there with the monitor. It's worked for me. And the result is, in my opinion, something that I like. And I'll show you right now. Barefoot! Yeah, stream!